Stu Cowan and Pat Hickey with the Montreal Gazette here at the Bell Center, where the Canadiens lost 3-1 to the Pittsburgh Penguins on Saturday night. Same old story, it seems, Pat. This team can't put the puck in the net.
Stop me if you've heard this one before. This is the same story. We got really good goaltending from Mike Condon tonight. Only one goal. When you hold a team like Pittsburgh to 2 goals, and the third goal tonight was an empty netter, but you should have a chance to win, and they did have a chance to win, but they just can't put the puck in the net. They put a big push on in the third period. They got 17 shots on goal. They had another 8 or 9 blocked. They had 3 or 4 that missed the net. I mean, they certainly pushed hard, but for the first 2 periods, it was nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, the first period was an absolute disgrace. It was a wonder that Pittsburgh, that they came out of it with a 0-0 tie, and that was largely because of Michael Condon. On the 2 goals that he gave up in the second period, the defense was nowhere to be seen. It was a power play goal.
The second goal, Greg Pattern, I don't know what he was doing on that.
Well, he started to take a guy, and then he just got caught totally out of the play, and as a result, you get a guy who comes in behind Andrighetto and Beaulieu. They just didn't know what was happening, and it just shouldn't happen that way. And
another slow start. This team hasn't won 2 games in a row since going back to November. Michel Therrien in his press conference here, his answers were very short. He didn't really answer them. I'm starting to think he's starting to feel maybe a little bit of heat. This team has gone from the best record in the Eastern Conference to now they're going to be fighting for a playoff spot.
It looks that way. I mean, they're only 4 points ahead of Pittsburgh now.
Pittsburgh has 2 games
Pittsburgh's in 9th or 10th place, depending upon how Tampa Bay does later on tonight. There's lots of teams catching up to them and in good position. Those games at hand will start disappearing over the next week. But if these teams keep winning, the Canadiens could be disappearing as well.
I think PK Subban showed frustration. He scored his end. You've gone 33 games without a goal. He finally scored tonight. He dropped a few F-bombs in the locker room after the game and saying he didn't effing care how long it had been since he had scored. And also said, it's not my job to score goals, but I think when you're making $9 million a year, the team's expecting you to put a couple of pucks in the net also, apart from playing 28 minutes a game. Yeah,
I think that he has gotten a lot of assists this year and things like that, but when you have a shot like that, and you should be getting more goals. I mean, there's no reason. He's never had less than 10 goals in a season. This season on pace now to get 3.5, I think.
3.5.
So it just has to be better, and he has to get more involved in it. I know that in the last 2 years he's been stressing playing better defensively and things like that, but at times there are just opportunities. I think Michel Therrien gets an unfair rap by saying, people say that he's not letting PK cut loose. He's not giving, PK more leash. But all the defensemen say that the coaches told them if they have a chance, go in, take it.
And Mark Barberio's been doing that.
Yeah, I don't think that's a problem, but there's something missing here, and the offense is just there.
They're going to have to find a way to put pucks in. Max Pacioretty said it was confidence. All 4 lines had confidence at the beginning of the year, but to say it's been since November, they haven't won 2 games in a row, and this is more than a slump. I think this is a team that's in trouble right now.
Yeah, that's we had Brendan Gallagher out, and that hurt them, and then he came back in the Winter Classic, and they scored 5 goals. They won a couple of nights ago, but even a couple of nights ago, 2-1 game against New Jersey, a team that's not very good. This Pittsburgh team hasn't been very good. Going into this game tonight, Mike Sullivan, the new coach, was 4-6-2. He lost twice as many games as he won.
Mm-hmm.
And but now all of a sudden they're back in the thick of a race, and the Canadiens let them back in there.
Well, the Canadiens have a few days off, but it's not going to get any easier. Thursday night, the Chicago Blackhawks, the defending Stanley Cup champions, are here with Corey Crawford, a Chateauguay boy in net. So we'll see how the offense does then.
And then they have 2 back-to-back games on the road. After that, they play St. Louis team that many people think should be a Stanley Cup contender, and then they play Chicago again.
Yeah, so Michel Therrien has his work cut out for him.